Welcome to Business Insights Daily. I'm your host, Sashank. Today, we're unpacking one of the most fascinating and seemingly contradictory AI strategies we've seen yet. Disney has announced a $1 billion investment in OpenAI as part of a 3-year licensing deal. This agreement will allow users of ChatGPT and Sora to generate content featuring characters from Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and Pixar. At the same time, on Wednesday, Disney's lawyer sent a cease and desist letter to Google, accusing its AI models of massive copyright infringement. So, what's going on here? Is this hypocrisy, a brilliant legal pincer, or is it Disney drawing a line in the sand that could define the future of intellectual property, the age of AI? Let's break it down. The OpenAI deal, opening the Magic Kingdom. First, the partnership. Disney is investing $1 billion in OpenAI and has signed a 3-year licensing agreement. The deal has two main parts. Public use. For the first time, users of OpenAI's tools, ChatGPT for text and images, and Sora for video, will be able to generate content featuring characters from across Disney's vast library. Think Mickey Mouse, Luke Skywalker, Iron Man, Buzz Lightyear. The company will say says this will happen with a brand safe framework, presumably with guardrails to prevent inappropriate uses, but it's still a stunning move for a company that has fiercely protected its IP for decades. Internal use. Disney's own creative teams and staff will get access to OpenAI's enterprise tools to help develop new products, streamline animation workflows, and personalize theme park experiences. This is the efficient play, using AI to build the next generation of Disney magic faster. For OpenAI, this is a massive win. It gets access to the world's most beloved IP and a powerful enterprise player. For Disney, it's a way to engage AI with AI on its own terms and get paid for it. But that's only half the story. The Google lawsuit defending the kingdom. At the same time, Disney was finalizing this deal, it was preparing for battle. The company sent a cease and desist letter to Google, demanding that it stop using copyrighted Disney material to train its AI models, including Gemini in its image and video generators, such as Nano Banana. This accusation is straightforward. Disney believes Google has scrapped its film shows and images from the web without permissions to build commercial AI products that can then replicate Disney's style or even its characters without a license. So, on one hand, Disney is saying to OpenAI, let's partner, while on the other, it's saying to Google, you're stealing. To an outsider, this may look contradictory, but if you look closer, a very clear strategy emerges. The strategy: permission versus theft. This isn't about being for or against AI. It's about control and compensation. With the OpenAI deal, Disney gets a $1 billion equity stake, making it a financial beneficiary of OpenAI's growth. Licensing fees for these with IP create a new revenue stream, as well as a seat on the table to help build the guardrails around how its characters are used, protecting its brand, as in its way to position itself as an innovator, not an obstacle. With Google, as Disney alleges, it gets none of that. Its valuable IP is being used to train a rival's commercial models with no license, no payment, and no control. Disney is effectively drawing a bright line in the sand, creating a legal and commercial distinction between sanctioned AI, using IP with licensed, paid, brand safe ecosystem, and unsanctioned AI, scrapping and training copyrighted data without permission or payment. This two pronged approach is designed to send a message to the entire tech industry. You can play in our universe, but you have to come through the front door. And that front door is a price. What this means for Hollywood and beyond. This could be a landmark movement for the future creative IP. For years, studios and publishers and music labels have been trying to figure out how to engage with generative AI. Do they sue out of existence? Do they build their own models? Do they sign licensing deals? Well, Disney is doing all three. Suing the platforms it sees as backers, Google, partnering with leader it feels it can work with, OpenAI, and presumably building its own internal AI capabilities. This could become the playbook for other major IP holders. Imagine a future where you can generate a song in the style of a certain artist, but only through a platform that has a deal with their label. You could write a story featuring a famous book characters, but only with a sanctioned app that pays royalties to the publisher. The curious question is, does this create a more sustainable ecosystem for creators, or does it lead to a world of official AI walled gardens, where only the biggest tech companies can afford to license the most valuable IP? What happens to the open source AI movement in a world dominated by the massive licensing deals? What we're seeing is a legacy company facing the passive innovator's dilemma in real time. Generative AI is a direct threat to Disney's core business, human driven storytelling and animation. The company had three choices: fight it, trying to litigate AI out of existence; ignore it, hope it's a fad and protect the old ways of doing things; and embrace it, find a way to co opt the technology to strengthen its own business model. With this strategy, Disney is aggressively choosing option 3. The OpenAI partnership is the embrace, an attempt to stay culturally relevant, engage a new generation of creators, and find new revenue streams. A Google lawsuit is the control, a defense a core asset that makes Disney Disney. It's intellectual property, and it's an audacious high stakes bet. If it works, Disney could write the rules for how creative industries monetize their IP in the age of AI. If it fails, the licensed tools are misused, or if the copyright lawsuit falters, it could weaken both its brand and its legal standing. So, as we watch this story unfold, it's more than just about one deal, one lawsuit. It's about a 100-year-old entertainment giant trying to navigate a technological shift as profound as the invention of the moving picture itself. And as you play with these new tools, maybe creating a Pixar style short film with Sora or asking ChatGPT like a scene with characters from Mandalorian, it's worth asking Disney that the question that Disney is forcing all of us to confront. When we create with AI, are we using just a tool, or are we participating in a kind of licensed universe built on the rules that are being written right now in boardrooms and courtrooms for decades to come? This is Business Insights Daily. I'm your host, Shashank. Thank you for listening.